Hey guys, how you doing? Michael Sparks. I got my Snoop Dogg vape pen. Might get through the election with vape and not smoke, 'cause smoke is bad for you. And say hi, guys. There's Roosevelt and Butch and Pumpkin. All these stray animals that we find out running around, and we rescue slash capture. I think we capture them and force them to love us. Anyway, was out thinking, walking the dogs, thinking about the election. I was just thinking about it. Like, I remember the statistic from like a year ago, and the statistic was that in 2012, Mitt Romney had that 49% of the electorate voted for Mitt Romney. Obviously, that leaves 51% of the electorate voted for Barack Obama. It was a close race, and so I remember Cenk Uygur was talking about how, due to Republicans getting older and dying off and some other factors, that it had switched to 71. This was like a year and a half ago on the Young Turks, and he was talking about it. And I remember this just stuck with me. He said 71% of the electorate were. And he said Democrat, but we know most people are independents, but the independents are way left leaning for the most part, I think, even though Gary Johnson, obviously pulled a lot of them in to the right. So it's an interesting times. But anyway, I remember looking that up. The 71% now were now left leaning. And I know the Democrats knew this information, and they clearly thought that this is just a gimme election. And it absolutely was a gimme election for them. We know about their strategy. We saw the WikiLeaks. We know about their strategy to, quote, elevate Trump. I mean, that's just good politics, man. That, if you can do it, if you can do that. I mean, if I'm looking at that field over there, and let's be real, all those clowns, like Carson, man, I can't even remember half of them. All those people, they didn't have a chance to really win it. I guess it really came down to Rubio, Kasich, Cruz, and Trump. So the Democratic Party's looking at that, and they're saying, who do we want to win out of those four? Rubio, kind of scary to them. Cruz, you get all the evangelicals, and that's a lot more than you realize. There's still a lot of evangelicals and a lot of Christian people in the country. It's changing, but it's out there. And who was and then what? Kasich, so moderate. He was basically, nothing for Clinton to fight against, nothing for her to insult, nothing for her to put down. So they said, okay, so who's the most vulnerable here? Well, Donald Trump. We know all this stuff about him. Let's use our corporate media arms. Obviously look at Clinton's donors. Look at her donors. Verizon, Time Warner, Comcast, huge donors. What do they have in common? They are all, they control the information. So, the Google scandal, the Democrats had it all. They had the people. There are more. Look at the amount of people that voted for Bernie Sanders, young people under 25. It outnumbered people under 25 more than voted for Bernie Sanders than all other candidates combined, and it was by a lot too. Not just more than Clinton and Trump, but by all of them. So the old Republicans are dying off, baby boomers, and such, and the new young people are coming up are a bunch of freaking leftist socialists, right? And so they're coming up. The Democrats, had this in the bag. I literally say with a complete confidence that they could have ran Martin O'Malley, and they would have won. Think about like the not everybody. I know everybody's scared about the Trump presidency and such, and you should be. There's a lot of sad stuff. People losing their health care, Social Security. This guy's got nuclear codes. He's, whatever. I'm hoping it won't be as bad as we fear. We're going to fight for LGBT rights. We're going to fight. I'm fighting. I know you guys are going to fight with me. It's going to be, hey man, we're going to be black belt activists by the time this is over, okay? But just talking about what happened yesterday and the Democratic Party not listening to the people, they were headed for an iceberg. And we were screaming at them. We literally went to Philadelphia and stood at the gates the wall they built, and were screaming at them, if you do not nominate Bernie Sanders, you will lose to Donald Trump. And they just did not want to listen because of all the corporate money that Clinton had backing her. They want. We know what happened. Okay, you know what happened. But my point is like, I don't know if people realize to the level at which people. Oh, great, and my battery's running low. Okay, still recording. Cool, we're still recording. The level at which the Democratic Party blew it. They could have ran Martin O'Malley up there, and people would have. A lot of Republicans don't like Trump. Not everybody are these good old boys with the rebel flags and the "Don't tread on me" and the 22 AR-15s. That's just a small percentage of it. Not every Trump supporter is a racist. Most of them, I know there's some scary ones out there, but most of them are people like you and me, who just, they're hardworking people. Maybe, they believe Trump's bullshit. Maybe it'll help him. You never know. We'll see. It looks like he's cutting taxes to the rich. That's what I see on his plan. I don't see him. Okay, great. He's blocking TPP. He's keeping jobs here. Good. Whatever. I wish the best. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to fight any president who tries to do anything bad. I'm gonna give every person who says they're a representative a chance. That's where we're at right now. If he starts trying to pass these freaking stupid, bigoted laws, then we'll go hard at him. But it's not like everybody loves Trump. They just hate Hillary Clinton that freaking bad. You get a guy who's sitting around, just an average guy, he's not really into politics. Maybe he tends to vote Republican. Trump comes up, he says, yeah, I don't know, he's a little too extreme for me. You run Martin O'Malley against him, he probably doesn't even show up. You run Bernie Sanders against him, he probably doesn't show up. Maybe he shows up and votes for Bernie. The only thing that's going to get that guy excited to get to the voting booth with a candidate he doesn't love is voting against Hillary Clinton, the most hated person in politics, period, hands down. Hated by the left, hated by the right. Some of us have good reasons to not like Hillary Clinton. We know about her. Some people just don't like her because they're freaking bigots and she's a powerful woman or whatever. We don't like Hillary Clinton because of her policies. But literally, they could have ran Martin O'Malley and he would have beaten Donald Trump. The numbers are in favor of the left. They literally had to run somebody that the right hated so much that they would all show up, and that the left hated so much that we couldn't get excited about her. They literally had to run somebody like that. And they did, because they're corporate sellout third way Dems, and they got smacked yesterday at every level of government. I'm with Bernie. I love third parties just like Bernie, but I'm also a realist, and I want to rebuild what we have. And I love the pressure from the left. Bring the Green Party at all levels of government. Bring them. I support that. But we have to work with what we have too. And right now, the Democratic Party burned down in flames. They burned down in flames. Where's my Snoop vaporizer? In flames. So maybe it's good. Maybe this is what it takes. I'm going to be working really hard over the next 4 years. I don't like making these videos. People keep messaging me saying, make videos. We want you on video. So I don't know why you want this on video, but I'm just talking to you today. It's sad. We're in mourning. Get pumped. Get pumped. It's going to be an exciting 4 years. The last 18 months has been activism training. Game time.